Hello, folks. Welcome back again to the greatest call short discourses. And our next most important lesson gleaned from life, aka living, is that a guided and more controlled emotions is the hallmark of deliberate creation. Again, a guided and more controlled emotions is the hallmark of every deliberate creation. Let's make it very simple. Simply put, an emotionally stable or equanimous person is a deliberate creator. Again, the more equanimous or stable you are emotionally, you facilitate your deliberate creation. Folks, would you remember that our emotions are the receptive radar indicating or telling us ahead of time what is approaching in our deliberate or sometimes, unfortunately, unconscious creation. Again, our emotions are the receptive radar indicating or telling us ahead of time what is approaching in our creative world or in our deliberate or unconscious creation. This is something we all know, that there are over 100,000 aircraft that are launched into flight every single day. When I was growing up, when I was a little kid, I didn't understand how all these aeroplanes can fly without certain head-on collision. I remember when I was in grade 3 or 4, I used to ponder over some of these a lot. And now we all do know why, that there are different kinds of radars that are transmitting and others receiving. Now our emotions act in similar way. Our emotions are the indicators telling us what we are creating. And just as we felt, if it is happy, blissful, it means what we are creating or what we are creating in the future is going to be blissful and full of happiness. However, the opposite is true as well. As we continue to feel, our conditions or object will be in direct frequency with our emotions. In a power evolving universe, folks, energy is your currency. Energy, again, is your currency. Not dollars, not euros, not yuan, no yen, no city, not naira, none of these, not pesos, but energy is your currency, because that is what will bring all these, if you need them, into your life. Do you remember the day you had your worst life experience, whether it's being a fatal crash, or let's say a sudden reversal of fortune, like you lost your business or job, or you lost your company, however you did? I'm gonna give you one challenge. Try to backtrack as much as you can before the event or before it started. Just before, try to backtrack. Tell me how you felt averagely, weeks, days, or let's even say 72 hours. That's 3 days before the event. How were you feeling? What was your average emotional state? Try to remember before the crash, before your fortune started to reverse, before the accident that made you lose something very valuable. Try to backtrack and tell me how you felt. Few months, few weeks, few days before the event. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you your heart desires. So goes a good old book by a good old man. The question we all ask is, now, how do I rejoice when everything around me seems to be going or had already gone berserk or haywire? How can I rejoice? We shall go into the details of all of that. Joseph Campbell, put it simply that follow your bliss. In just 3 words, he was able to summarize the essence of living a fulfilling life. Follow your bliss, i.e., do the things that make you alive, happy, grateful than otherwise. Everything that makes you alive, happy, and grateful to the ultimate consciousness is and must be your calling. And that is what you have to do. And as long as you are riding along with the right energy, like I said, in a power evolving universe, energy is your currency, not the government issue currency like dollars or euros or yuan or yen or pesos or cedi or naira. No. Energy, the frequency of your energy is your currency. Energy is your currency in a power evolving universe. You see, folks, creation at the cosmos level by ultimate consciousness was spun, sustained, guided, and guided only for the joy of expansion as one consciousness. A constant emotional and mental state of anxiety, doubt, fear, the mama of all evil, anger, and Unfortunately, some of us have mastered anger to the level of grumpiness. They are in this constant state of anger and mistrust. I don't know if you guys have watched a man called Otto, O-T-T-O, a man called Otto, a Netflix movie. You know what I'm talking about. That is what we define grumpiness. Anger mastered to the level of grumpiness, because they live in that kind of constant state of anger and mistrust. Folks, remember that in a power evolving universe, your energy again is your currency. Again, in this world, the frequency of your energy is your currency. It's your currency. You can have all the money on the planet, if you don't have the right frequency to match the energy you have, which is the money, you're gonna lose it. That is a must, because the frequency do not match. So in this universe, the first is to have the right level of energy. Your frequency must match your creation. You see, folks, there is no need for chronic or interminable anger or sadness about our current condition or conditions. And remember that quantum physics has shown that reality, what you and me we call reality, is all illusion. The reason, it's in a constant state of flux or change. So whatever you're experiencing now, it's only your condition now. It must change as long as you go with these laws. We can promise you it will change, it shall change, and it must be something more desirable as long as you work along with us. As we go through life with our goals fully impressed on our subconscious mind, like we talked about on our channel. And again, viewers and listeners can go back to our channel, The Greatest Call, and then check the playlist on human individual level of creation to understand this part of the laws in the right perspective and context. Again, after we have fully impressed our goals on our subconscious mind, using the methods we discussed, and giving gratitude, and being generous as well as we all did discuss the last time, and also being generous with your time, knowledge, physical strength. Of course, some people need your physical strength. That's something we lose the older we get. Love and care. We should fertilize and be in a receptive mood. And what is the receptive mood? That's fertilizing our seeds with positive emotions like bliss, equanimity, happiness, expectation. Like we do when we are in earnest expectation of our lovers flying in for a visit. I don't know if you will be angry or be in a state of gloom when the person you love most is flying in to visit you. That is what we are trying to do. Even though we are creating with our goals written, constantly repeated and visualized to impress them on our subconscious mind, but we do not get a mark for the receptive mood. Some of us are in a constant state of anxiety, unfortunately. And if there's one thing we all know here, is that consciousness is essentially indivisible. It's one indivisible unit. People can feel you even before you talk. People can feel you. Don't you feel people before they talk? Yes. The same way they can feel you before you open your mouth. What do you all thunder so loudly I cannot hear what you say? So goes one of my favorite philosophers, and he's one of the greatest philosophers of all time. And guess what? He was from the United States. And he is Ralph Waldo Emerson. People can feel your energy, folks, or frequency of your vibration. Even before you talk, before you open your mouth to express your opinion, they have already felt you. So what you're going to say will only corroborate or deny what they felt. And what they felt will stay with them forever than what you said. It lasts longer. Our feelings last longer. Our feelings about the place, a person, last longer than what they told us. Is that not true? Is that not what we all feel mostly? So negative emotions can only mean one thing, especially when it becomes a habit. Like a man called Otto. It became his habit. People used to know him. They know who he is. In a constant state of grumpiness. Negative emotion can only mean we are creating and recreating unwanted conditions. And that will be in harmony or congruence with our emotional frequency. If you are constantly angry, you're gonna continuously experience constantly angry situations. So then, we keep creating and recreating unwanted conditions that will keep us being frustrated in life. And I can tell you, most of us in life are more frustrated than those who are not. And humanity is awakening now. We are getting back our powers. We are understanding our being and consciousness. And that is a good thing. And that is the most amazing thing happening to the planet now. Of course, none can stay in a positive mental or emotional state all the time. Nobody can do that. However, the general average of our emotional state of our lives can either fertilize the seeds or derail, unfortunately, the train of our mental creation. Now we ask, how do I rejoice when everything around me is chaotic, like we talked about? Okay, we're going to teach you now. Throughout the day, this is what works for most. You take out 5 to 7 minutes frequently to have short mindfulness, Zen Buddhist kind of mindfulness or meditation, where you only concentrate on your breath with your eyes closed. If you can, we hope you're not operating a machine, which you should not do that in this case. But if you can close your eyes around your desk for 5 to 7 minutes and concentrate on your breath, nothing but your breath. Your mind cannot not think. It needs to think. People say, don't think about anything. No, just bring it to your breath. Breathing in and breathing out for 5 to 7 minutes. Set your timer for 5 to 7 minutes. This calms your mind by reducing the stress hormone cortisol and increases the production of dopamine, i.e. the feel-good hormone. Or we could just take a brisk walk around the office or the house. A lot of people are working from home now. You can just take a brisk walk for about 15 minutes. Did you know brisk walk is arguably the best form of exercise? Yes, it is. Others say it's swimming, which I agree as well, because every part of your body moves. However, you need water. Ideally, swimming pool. You need water, or rivers, or oceans. But when it comes to walking, brisk walk, all you need is your limbs. Come with your limbs, and we hope we still have them. And for some, what works for them very well is just stepping out of the rigmarole of daily life and listening to their favorite playlist on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you get your favorite songs. These seem to do magic for many people. So when you feel out of whack with the frequency of your desired condition or conditions, step back and do these to dissipate them, giving genuine gratitude and being as generous with anything you have. Good smile, hugs, love, care, physical strength, money, knowledge, intelligence. We shall ward off many a challenge in life and create a more desirable conditions. Once again, this was the first discourse on emotions, how we feel from time to time. And remember, emotions, people say, is energy in motion. This was the greatest call short discourse. God bless you, your family, and the planet. And Chibiara Mobeti Yenka. See you very soon.